When I was in grad school, I remember loving the Woodcock-Johnson, the WJ-4, and everything that it had to offer. But then when I went to the school system, I was like, oh, they're really relying on the Wexlers, the WJ-5 and the Stanford Benets. So I'm really happy to return and see and start using the WJ-5. And I'm going to use this video to talk about my initial impressions about it, and also to talk about a really, really exciting game-changing feature that will make our lives so much easier. My name is Dr. T, and I'm a school psych representing educators practicing outside of schools. I'm currently in private practice now, but I've worked in schools for over 10 years. So I want to take the time to talk about what assessments look like for me, but also what this WJ-5 can mean for me in my practice. So now that the Woodcock-Johnson 5 is here, I believe it came out last year, actually, around this time. I'm going to just be highlighting several updates that I think are really exciting, especially for those working in private practice like myself, because I think that we're the ones that purchase our own toolkits, our assessments, so we really have to be very selective in what we choose, and I think that the WJ-5 can really help with that. So in this video, I'm going to walk through some features that have stood out to me and why I think that the WJ-5 is going to elevate the way that we do comprehensive assessments, specifically in a private practice setting. So just to give some quick context, the WJ-5 is completely digital, which I was like, ooh, this is exciting. It's completely digital. It continues to be very comprehensive because it's really helping us examine the relationship between cognitive processing and academic performance. So that hasn't changed, and I'm really excited to see that. That's one of the things I really loved about the WJ-4 was how seamless it was with relating the cognitive information or connecting the cognitive information that we got with the academic. So I'm really excited to see that they really expanded on that comprehensiveness that we see. And they're also through a digital administration, I think that we're going to start seeing a lot more, and it's going to start improving our digital workflow, especially, again, if you're in private practice, everything is an investment. So having something that's mainly digital with no physical or paper-based kits is going to be so huge for us because, we're lugging our kits around. We have these kits and we have to, again, very selective with what we choose. So I think that, again, this will really help elevate your practice if you're a school psych in private practice like me. All right, let's talk about the first feature. I feel like what stood out to me was how comprehensive it was. I always felt like when I was administering the WJ-4 that I was really able to speak to a student's academic profile. And I've noticed that with the WJ-5 that hasn't changed. And when I saw some of the academic tests, I was like, oh, okay, we're really expanding it. So I think that when we are in a private practice setting, that's what makes our report stand out versus other people who do evaluations, who aren't school psychologists, who aren't educators. They're not talking about the educational piece. And that's what makes our report stand out, is because we are. So I feel like seeing what they have to offer, because, I was using the Wyatt. Now that I'm able to offer the WJ-5 achievement, I'm like, yay, this is so exciting. So we'll be able to really talk about the weaknesses, and we'll be really able to talk about the processes that connect to the students' academics difficulties. So I'm really excited to have these in our reports and to talk about it with parents to really give them the answers that they need. Another feature that I've seen that I think is really cool is that there's just been a lot more improvements to the achievement in the cognitive batteries. And I've been doing a lot more research with the WJ-5, and I noticed that, similar to the Wyatt 4, the dyslexia index, this is also going to be really, really helpful for us to get a nuanced profile of strengths and weaknesses, both in the cognitive area, but also the achievement area. And I was just loving what I was seeing, and I was like, oh, we're really going to be able to really help parents understand learning challenges, learning disabilities. So I think it'll be, for those of us who are in private practice, who are outside of school settings, your psychoeducational reports are really going to take it there. And you'll be able to really target and individualize your recommendations with the expansion of what they've done. Because our goal, right, is like our goal is to help teams and families understand why a student is struggling in that setting, but also like our reports, as we all know, are going to be given to the school system. So if they're able to see that we're able to really talk about the academic piece and highlight some of the challenges that they're seeing and make those connections within the report card and all the information gathered, like it's really just going to help us. The third feature that I'm really excited to see is just how they expanded the virtual testing. And for me, that's different because I was like one of those school psychs. I was like, no, paper-based, we got to see this, we got to do that. But honestly, digital assessment is the future. And these tools are evolving. And I think that the WJ-5 is really taking a step forward with that, about being like, no, like it's time to integrate digital administration options in a way that makes me feel comfortable. Because before I used to be like, no, I'm not doing it. Don't do it. Like, I don't want to hear it. La, 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 la. And now I honestly can say that I feel very comfortable. I was like, okay, let's do it. It did seem very seamless, which leads me to my fourth point. It seemed really seamless. And when I'm conducting evaluations, especially in multiple settings, because I might be doing it in different areas and helping schools or in my private practice, I feel like virtual administration is going to be very important. And I have to say that, you know, in my private practice, we have a tablet set up. I have to say that I'm like, when I was doing it, when I was doing a test run, I was like, this is not that hard. Girl, you could do it. So I do think that if you're in an office, you can use this tablet-based setup, and it's very easy. It's not going to take a long time. It's not going to take 30 minutes to figure it out. And I feel like it'll be very seamless. It'll be something that can be done within 5 minutes, and it won't take too much time. Now, this feature I'm really, really excited about, and I really want to highlight the moment you've been waiting for, is examining, sharing, and collaborating with the records. I have a team under me, as some of you might have as well, if you're in a private practice setting or if you're doing it at an agency. It's really hard. It's really hard because if you have one person doing some testing and the other person doing testing for the same person, there's no way to collaborate. You're sending emails back and forth. You're just like, what have you done so far? What's this? Now you can see, you can just share a profile with the person on your team, and multiple examiners can administer different tests, and everything's under one profile. That is huge, because I think that my team and I were getting frustrated when we often do testing for one client, but we're having multiple staff do certain things, because I like personally that for people to do different testing so that they can show me their observations and share it with the team. And now I feel like that's a huge advantage because it improves your organization. Data isn't lost, and the data is not all over the place. So I think that this will be a huge game changer for people like me in these settings that have teams. We're able to just collaborate. So just want to highlight that. You know, in private practice, it's really hard. And like I said before, and like I keep on saying, we are very, 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 very shrewd and very discerning with what we do. And I think that these updates for the WJ-5 are just going to improve the ability for how we work, and also about the quality of the reports that we produce, right? So if we're able to really communicate with the team and what we're doing, we can better communicate with the families and the educating teams and the educational teams. So I'm just really excited to start using the WJ-5 in practice. I can't wait to explore all the new possibilities. I can't wait to see the types of comprehensive evaluations that we're going to write. And I also can't wait to see how it is like administering it virtually. Like, it's really going to be, I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone, but I know that this is the way forward, and WJ-5 really makes it easy to do so. So again, like the exam sharing, I gotta say, they really did that. It just makes life a lot easier. So if you're a school psychologist, if you're a neuropsychologist, if you're an educational evaluator outside at an agency in your private practice, I want to hear from you. If you haven't used it already, based off this video, are you excited to use it? Are you excited to get it? And if you've already started using it in your practice, can you let me know what your experience has been like? Because I also want to know any tips and tricks or ways that I could support my staff and also just expand our horizons. So thanks for watching this video. Like, subscribe, comment if you want more content like this. And I'm just really excited to share this with you all. Have a blessed day and enjoy the testing experience.